Hey folks, so Web3 community and especially Bitcoin community right now is booming because of the decentralized identifiers, and I'm talking about the DIDs for a long time. Maybe I will even make the playlist about the DIDs and all those things. I don't want to talk about the DID BTC because for me it's quite strange design actually, and we already have a lot of DIDs based on the Bitcoin, and most scalable way of having the DID on top of Bitcoin actually it's the site tree protocol. So you could take a look, for example, to the DID ION. At least you could really manage the costs in a some manageable and normal way, because you could issue the thousands of DADs in one transaction actually. So, and you don't need to pay the crazy fee for one DAD. But my talk today is not about the Bitcoin. My talk today is more about what's the actual DAD is and what kind of usability problems we faced when we using the decentralized identifiers. So, and if you came from the blockchain space, you don't have this problem, because your address in a blockchain actually is the public key. So, and that's it. So you have a way of distribute your public key just as your public address. If you're talking about the decentralized systems that don't have such network, you need to solve one very simple problem. So it's how to actually, in a decentralized way, distribute your public key to others. So the main thing that the idea solve is the distribution mechanism of your public keys, and why the idea actually still could be useful for the blockchain. Uh, Actually, the DAD give you the ability to rotate the key and to uh, have this identifier in the middle that not directly connect to your private key. And why it's really matter, because if you use the private public key directly, you have no ability to rotate it. You have ability, invalidate the keys and all those things. So it's really useful and more secure to have the identifier that somehow decoupled from your keys. And plus, we need to keep in mind that decentralized identifiers could have multiple keys related to each other, and these multiple keys could be used for the different operations related to the DADs and all those things. So it's quite useful, it's more secured, it's more flexible, and it's a decoupling of your keys from the identity. So it's really a cool thing. What's not cool, and it's a main topic of our video, it's the usability of the DADs. Because, when you have the DAD is something like the keychain, yeah, because you have one identifier and you have a multiple keys, you could do different things with it. And if you grab the keychain from your home, for example, you know that this key looks differently and it's from the front door, this key from your apartment, because you could easily identify the purpose of the key from how the keys look like. Sometimes we have crap because keys are completely the same, but we figure out somehow, we find a way how we could put any kind of label to the key and so on. But we don't have such mechanism for the DADs. So we don't have the way to get this opaque identifier and put some meaning to this identifier. And we don't have the easy way or standard way to manage the DADs. It's a big challenge for the SSI wallets to create ability to manage and differentiate the different DADs. And if you have multiple of them, you really have a trouble. And everybody solves this problem in completely different way. So one offer that we have the three components, that we have a role, we have a context, and then we could identify somehow the purpose of the DAD, but it's still, we don't have the standard for this. Next obvious problem that, as I already mentioned, that we have a DID that distribute your public keys, but now how to connect these public keys to the corresponding private keys? It's yet another missing standard that are not so easy to make, and practically every provider solve this problem in their own way. And for example, the Wi-Fi folks that doing the DVN, they have this identity agent that actually have this purpose. But then you have the problem that this wallet have this special kind of DID that manage all the rest of the DIDs and relations between the keys and all other things. So we have a problem of identify the DIDs and the purpose of the DIDs. We have a problem of connecting the DIDs to the private keys. And the last one, it's even more deep and problematic. And some DID methods are already working on this problem, but in general it's not solved and it's not covered by the specification, is how to make sure that during the lifetime of the DID, when we do the multiple rotations of the key, we get the track of the history, because it doesn't really matter that right now you have this DID with these keys and you could sign it. Then is the question what will happen with all your identifiers and VCs that you issued before the rotation. So we simply invalidate all of them. It's impractical. So if you're talking about the making the DIDs usable, we need to solve these three problems. We need to solve the problem of the identifying the purpose of the DID, connecting the DID to the keys in a transparent way, and offering the versioning for the DID identifier and the rotation of the keys. Because then it will make this process more usable. That's why we partially could solve this problem with the pair of the DID together with the verifiable credentials that will connect some meta information to the DID, but still we don't have the clear way how to do it. And I really believe that community should focus on solving these problems, because it will help with the adoption of the technology. If you're keen to learn more about the DIDs, follow my channel. I will share the watching list about the DID topics. Subscribe to my Medium blog. I write in a lot of articles about the DIDs in general. So, and let's stay connected. Choose.